Now, a good question it would be, that's a great question Ken Meter asked, and he said, what if federal government came to the 8-county area and said, okay, here we have 173 million for you guys to improve your communities and everything, figure a way of doing farming that would improve rural communities. Would we go and plant all of that into corn and bean and lose 62 million? Or would we do something else? So that's what, it's an interesting thing to think about. What should we be doing? So to really, and then to further what became clear, this disconnection. So we already have a kind of losing situation where we have skilled farmers, good soil, and they're not making a living. They can't make a living unless major subsidies flow in from federal government. So to add to that, another even worse disconnection, while all of this is going on, the residents of the 8-county area spend more than $400 million in groceries. Those $400 million leave our 8-county area for the most part, because what are we growing in the 8-county area? Corn, beans, and hogs, right? And those hogs aren't going to our local grocery store. So this is the context that we want to improve on. This is the context. This is the reality that's going on in Northeast Iowa, and I've seen the data for all of the counties in Iowa and all of the Midwest, and they're all like this. It's a losing economy, and that's why a lot of small town Illinois and Iowa, what's left is Casey's and a bar, because whereas the wealth isn't, there's no wealth coming in, and what's coming in the form of crop subsidies is going out to the same companies that are buying corn and beans from the farmers. It's kind of like a company town where farmers are just they have to spend most of their money buying the inputs that those very companies that buy the corn and beans from them have supplied them at high costs. So it's really, as Wes Jackson has pointed out, is that crop subsidies are really laundered through farmers to this input suppliers. Just taking the money, okay, here, passing it. Okay, so this is the context we want to change. This is not good. It has not improved rural Iowa, rural Illinois, and has not resulted in food that we like to eat. I mean, these are the things that we want to change. So you look at this and say, wait a minute, we don't like this. We want something else, and that something else you already very well aware of. It was articulated by all of the speakers what we want to do, what kind of food system we want. Okay, so next. So we started looking at those 8-county, 7-county area around us. Again, look at Black Hawk County. About 50,000 households spend about $274 million in groceries every year. And this is a 2004 number. I'm sure that has gone up. Another 156 million in eating out, which includes all food establishments in Black Hawk County. Now, you add the two, it's more than 400 million every year. What if our county leaders and economic development leaders said, all right, what can we do to capture just 10% of this? Just 10%. Well, that would be $40 million that we would retain every year. And that would beat casinos and all these other kind of fake economic development strategies that a lot of local governments have taken on. Okay, so it would be based on our land and based on people, it would be a real economy. Okay, so it's significant because people often say, well, wait a minute, farmers market buying tomatoes and stuff. That can't possibly be local economic That's serious money. Far more than, you know, being on the city council, you know, Target and Walmart, these guys come to City Hall and say, oh, well, we want to bring jobs, you know, give us some free land over here and give us tax incentives. And we say, oh, sure, okay, here's free land, tax incentives, all this stuff. But what about this? What about if somebody would come and say, hey, don't give any tax incentives, I'll bring in 40 million every year to your county. But we don't have any way